Hello, everyone! I bet you didn't expect me to be posting. Yeah, I'm back. Hey, what's up? Uh, very rarely do I get the urge to want to play some Hearts of Iron 4. But recently I've been feeling it, and I actually wanted to play it again. So I'm back. And I'm playing as the Italian Republic. I really, really like the Italian Republic, just because you get to start very small, very compact, and then grow and grow and grow as you go. I think it works out pretty well. I played this a long time ago, back when D'Annunzio was still in the game. How have your life been? It's been like 6 months since I posted a video. Ah, jeez. Yeah, some big news since then. I got engaged. This is not a real ring, this is silicone. But my girlfriend, my now fiance, has a real ring. And that was very fun. That was very nice. We're the Italian Republic. Let's get back into the game. How's everybody's life doing? You guys enjoying yourselves? I don't know what's changed in Hearts of Iron. No DLC have come out for a very long time, like over a year by now. Because they've been doing all those mini patches. I don't think there's been a lot of changes even to Kaiserreich, because we still don't have the Dawn, Cuban Union. This is now gray up until the point where everyone rebels. So that's a little different, but that looks a little different. That doesn't look normal. For the most part, I think everything is about the same. But yeah, we're Italian Republic. I'm sure it'll explain to us what that means pretty soon. We have very little. I'm going to go the A&I path, just because, you know, it's Italy. It's Italy, you gotta, you know, go nat pop. Got a naval tree, we got the air tree, got an army tree, which is pretty much just research bonuses and land doctrine bonuses. Nothing really that big. The Risorgimento there, and industrial tree, and political tree of whatever tree we take. We'll pick the A&I when that comes around. It's gonna be a while. But Italian industry for now. As for the armies, we got Division Fanteria, Infantry Division. Very normal. I'll just mark that as no one allow foreign equipment. We got Cavalry Division, kind of small. Same treatment though, don't allow foreign equipment yet. That's just my thing. I like divisions that use their own equipment. It just is. The Auto Transport Demobile, small, okay. And a Armor Division, Regiment of Armored, Regiment of Motorized, not that interesting. Ignore it for now. We're not going to be building anything. We have 55,000 manpower. We got no guns. We don't have any guns for even our own troops. Not going to do that. Just have these troops get into an army. These troops get into an army. First army, second army. That seems fine for now. We got Annibal Bergonzoli. Oh, for the Army of the Alps, we can have Alberto Parani. And then for the army group, we can have this Rudolf Grazzani. Offensive Doctrine, Fast Planner. Armored Boy. We don't have any armored, that's fine. Yeah, it's fine. In terms of research slots, we got 3. You know how I like to do it. I like to do it thematic. So this one will be our production routes. This will be either construction or base machine tools. I'll cover machine tools for something else. Construction, army. Army just needs better factories at the moment. And this will be Air Force and Navy until it separates. Pretty good on Air Force stuff. Our Navy is so small, we doesn't really need to worry about it right now. But we could use some more electronic mechanical engineering to give us some central range finding and a bonus. That's how I'll break it down. Civilian factories, we have 2 available. At the very beginning, we cannot do synthetic refineries yet. Okay. Can't do synthetic refineries just yet. Well, I can tell you that's not going to be very important. What we do here, I can just build like a civilian factory. It's not going to be important because as soon as Black Monday hits, we're going to have nothing. So, in that same vein, what we could do is put a whole bunch of effort into building up that plane, and then we can actually fulfill it with some rubber up until the point where it dies down on us. And within the few months we have, we can at least, you know, get some production out of that. The rest can go into infantry equipment, and then we can have one extra slot. These I'll just throw away. Once Black Monday hits and we don't have any civilian factories, we're not going to be able to do any sort of importation of rubber, so it's not going to get a whole lot of airplanes done. Same with trucks, they take rubber. We could do support equipment, we could do either supported equipment or towed anti-air. We're expecting to come up against a bunch of light tanks, so anti-air will cover both fighting aircraft, which we will be at a disadvantage of, important, and fighting tanks, because anti-air is enough to pierce tanks, so that's also good. So I think we'll get started on anti-aircraft very early on. Then, this is stuff we don't have points for. We'll get some support equipment. In the tank tab, ooh, we got the L335, the tankette. It has basically no soft attack or hard attack. It has basically no breakthrough, because that comes from the turret. It has a decent amount of defense. It's a good defensive tank. Good. It has basically no armor and basically no engine. Yeah, this is something I would use as, like, infantry support. Which, if we're not going to be doing a whole lot of trucks, then that has some value, I guess. But, yeah, it's not good. It's not very good. Might be something I throw into, like, my Mountaineers to give them a little bit of a bonus. But a bonus to what? Just the smallest amount of armor? I don't even think that's enough. Like, regular division, what do you have for piercing? Not that much, but you're also not full strength yet. And with a single tank? Yeah, I don't think that's gonna work much. If you put them all together, the armor is only 7. Yeah. Which I guess is enough to be better than troops that have no anti-tank of any sort. Not that great. Especially now that armor is not all or nothing. Now it's gradiated, so it's gonna be pierced. I'll still probably build some just because they're so cheap. They're even cheaper than the Interwar armored car. I'll probably build those anyway, and alongside these. And then finally, like I said, maybe a truck. Well, we'll get 1, 2, 3. I'll take those up. Yeah, that'll do. We got planes, but they're not very good. We got these CR-32 basic fighter, CA-111, which is it's a CAS plane, but one that does bomb bays, so we can just give it like that or something to differentiate it. We got the SM-81, very simple bomber, but with 3 engines. Got the SM-79, which has the naval strike capacity, but makes it much more expensive. I don't know, we could give it something like that to differentiate it, maybe? That's probably not what the actual plane looks like. I don't know what these planes look like in real life. I'm not really an Italian aviation enthusiast. With the BA-65, which is a bomber fighter, but primarily CAS. It can be used for fighter role, but probably wouldn't be good. I can think of a situation where having that air attack is useful. That's effectively what you do by adding this, is it's adding air attack and weight, while this adds air attack at the cost of agility. So it's air attack versus weight, although I don't know how weight affects it. I don't know how the air combat works. I just know what the sound it takes when it takes a man's life. We can all just leave that for now. It's going to be a long time until we have the ability to really produce aircraft. Even if we get to the point where we can start producing it, the big trouble is the fact that we have this only port, which is right alongside the Socialist Republic of Italy. It's right in the path of two Sicilies. It's right in the path of the Austrian Empire. Anybody can blockade us if they wanted to and cut off our oil, our shipments of rubber specifically, but also oil. I could technically do the land route like I'm doing now of Siam through here if these are all neutral countries. But if the Austrians go against us, we're screwed. So we're just gonna focus on other things for now. Focus on the land element. As for the Navy, I have no concern of the aid of the Navy right now. Like, yeah, they're there, but because we're going the A and I path, Venice is going to pop out, and they'll take the whole Navy, so it doesn't matter what we do with it. We'll get it back, but until then, it doesn't matter. Got missing production, it's tech bombers, yeah, that happens. Inefficient resources, I already asked for that, good. Already got the army set up, we got Air Force to take care of, I guess? They can all just chill out over there, maybe put together. We can get going, so I can read that long strip that's at the beginning of every Kaiserreich game. Oh, another thing, before we get started, I'm technically allied with the Austrians, which means we have complete intel over them. So while we're here, we can just look over them, because we'll probably be fighting them eventually. They got 3 there, they got 2 there, 1 there. This is not going to be accurate. They have a lot of civilian factories, not a whole lot else. They have 16 factories in total. Their navy is composed of 5 battleships, one of which being a level 2 battleship, a modern battleship. They have 48 destroyers, so let's round that up to 50 in our head. 7 heavy cruisers, 11 light cruisers, and almost 40 submarines. Absolutely dominates us. No question. It is just so much bigger. Ah, that's right. I just realized that I don't know how long I've been recording. Shit. No, I see it now. It's been a while. I hope everything in this video goes out well so I can just continue to play off. But yeah, that'll be it. Basic battle plan for us, basic game plan. Because I don't know what's going to happen in the world, but I want to obviously take over Italy again. I would like to take over Trentino and some of the areas inside the Austrian Empire with Italian claims like Trieste, Fiume, Istria, Croatia, or Dalmatia. Maybe go for Albania, maybe start piecing apart the Ottoman Empire and Egypt when they have their war. I want to stay out of the Weltkrieg as long as possible. I do not have an army or industrial base to do Weltkrieg stuff, so we'll avoid that. Let's get going so I can get that banner. The history of the Republic of Italy, defeat and civil war. With the French defeat and the collapse of the Italian war effort and the Austrians and the Kingdom of Italy signed an armistice in August of 1919, in which the Austrians were allowed the garrison of Lombardy and Venetia until a peace treaty was signed. Mere days after the humiliating announcement of peace, enraged nationalists proclaimed the new Republic of Italy in Milan, which maintained that all treaties signed by the House of Savoy were to be considered null and void. All over Italy, Republicans and nationalists rose up against the kingdom, and even the abdication of King Victor Emmanuel and his son wasn't enough to stop the collapse of the royal authority. After pushing for the royalists out and much of the central and northern Italy, it became apparent that the rivalries between differing factions in the Republic were too great to reconcile, and that started the small acts of sabotage become full-fledged conflict between red and white forces, grounding the offensive against the monarchists to a halt. Terrible. The status of the current Republic of Italy, a federation failure. As the Civil War dragged on, the tides of war turned against the whites, and when Austria offered the Republicans help in exchange for joining the common state with the royalists in the south, the Republicans had no choice but to accept or face destruction. After the victory at the Po against the Socialists, the white and Austrian forces found themselves forced to swallow a bitter pill of prolonged cooperation. The Republic had obliged to legally join the Italian Federation under Austrian protection, which also granted significant autonomy to Veneto, and much influence over the government to the Austrians of the Council of Italian Federation. In exchange, however, the Prime Minister of the Republic was granted the title interim head of the Italian Federation. The carefully balanced arrangement fell apart in 1926, however, when the Union of Britain joined the Third International. The Socialists were emboldened, and there was talk of war, but the Austrians made it clear that their forces would make no move to attack the Socialists in the South. If the South came under attack, this threw the peninsula into chaos and gave the Sicilians and Savoyards, long dissatisfied with the pro-Milan balance in the Council of the Italian Federation, a chance to walk out. Though the Socialists never attacked, the Council now clearly served no purpose in a 10-year term, which carried to inspire 1930 in the halls of civilian power Milan. Also, with activity and ambition, the council chamber now stands empty. Hopefully this is the last one, I think. I don't like reading that much. Though at considerable cost to national pride, the Austrian connection slowly improved. The economic standing of the Republic withdrew strength from the German Mitteleuropa and Austrian investment. As Italy recovered from the Civil War's destruction, however, many of the Republic began to rue their government's deal with the Habsburgs, and popular support for Italo Balbo's enter-Austrian Associazione Nazionalista Italia, whatever, Italian, it's the INA, or ANI, grew in Lombardy and Friuli. Ivano Bromboni's center-left coalition has ruled the country since 1927, but their popularity is mainly due to their economic stability, and should that end, we call this foreshadowing. Their popularity is, should that end, other parties are such as staunchly Republican Partito Liberale Italiano or Conservative Partito Popolare Italiano might gain enough support to form a government. Should matters get completely out of hand, the Federation-aligned forces restore order in the north. By force, even the old Council of Italian Federation might take power. One thing all parties have in common is a desire for free, united Italy, however, and many are sure a second risorgimento is coming. Viva Italia! Yes. Italia! Italia! Something, something, Italia. Assassination of Kerensky. There he goes, ya boy. Gone but not forgotten, replaced with Viktor Chernov. I don't know if I've ever seen that. I don't know what happens there. Yeah, I'm sure he's having fun. So let's double check in here. So I'm making 3 a week off of those. Nice, up until the point where that falls apart, which will probably be soon, but whatever. Oh wow, I've already made 10 so far in a month. Well, what if I just merge you two together? And then get this one pilot exercising? Total is chartered. Gonna be interesting to see what happens to the world. Every game at Kaiserreich is a little bit different. Black Monday. Oh, there we go. There we go. I can go for industrial improvements. We got the war between the Dominion of India and Afghanistan. I don't know what path this is. Don't know. Don't care. Not my problem. Not my monkey, not my circus. With a one-mill drill, the Austrian withdrawal. Black Monday has hit the Austrian Empire hard. Their markets have plunged so low that many Austrian stockholders of Austro-Italian companies have panicked and sold countless bonds to native Italians, weakening the Austrian stranglehold over their economy. Not only have we rid ourselves of foreign economic influence, the Austro-Hungarian Reichskriegsminister has called the division stationed in our territory unable to afford the financial burden of keeping us safe from what many in Vienna foolishly believe to be an empty socialist threat. For good or ill, the Italian Republic is now effectively independent of Austrian domination, at least until it regained their full strength. Many times are worried about whether or not this will leave us exposed to the attack of socialist Italy. A war right now would be a terrible prospect. Indeed, so we lose stability, we add Austrian influence, which wasn't there before, which gives us political power down, stability up, extra trade target with Austrian Empire, trade cost down, and they have military access, but they've effectively left. So we're no longer allies to them, they can just move through our territory. And since we're going to be backing the staunchly Habsburg government? Yeah, it's not going to hit well. Black Monday hits the Republic. Yep, may God protect us. The economic crisis that started in Germany has spiraled out of control and spread to Italy. Yep, there we go. Our production efficiency has dropped dramatically, so now we'll drop most of that. We're not going to worry about importing any rubber anymore. There's no point. Already been dropped. We'll keep that there for efficiency's sake, but yeah, we're not going to produce any more planes from that. Just go ahead and... You two, just go ahead and fully merge yourselves up. You get dropped, son. Maybe you two, just do that. You're already doing that. Nice. Get going. Now we're just going to chill for a while until we get to the point where... Illusion of Qing hegemony has fallen. Mongolia, there goes all the south and coast. Whew, eyes itchy. Have no concern over that. No concern whatsoever. What is this? Oh, that's from an hour ago. I got a fully charged phone. I could get my troops to start working out, but they have so little in terms of equipment. Ivando Bomzoni calls for a general election. Hopefully. And that will be where the ANI begins. Restoration of democracy. Protest against farm auctions. Current economic crisis has caused a lot of farmers to default on their loans. Well, let them continue, because the other option is to lose political power, which I kind of want. I can get stability back. There's a lot of options in Kaiserreich to get stability back, because there's so many options to lose stability. It's kind of how it works. First International Congress. Held in Paris. Well, I don't care. We got that, so what I could do is go military contracts to get some Carcanos. I could do things for new farms for that, but I do really want those research institutes. I really want the research institute. So I'll do that and get some points. I'm basically out of fuel. The church comments on the crisis. A number of influential figures in the church have begun rallying support for political figures during the sermons. Of particular note are the Archbishop of Milan and Venice, who have urged parishioners to follow traditional Catholic values during this crisis. Not a non-too subtle nod in support of the conservatives. Well, the new pope was just elected anyway, so good for him. I didn't vote for him. Pius the 7th. Balbo's speech. Here's our boy. Italo Balbo of the Association Nationalist Italy delivered a speech in the city of Verona today. During the speech, he blamed the government for the Republic of causing the economic crisis. Moreover, he went to describe Austria's role in keeping Italy divided and weak, and that the syndicalists were only allowed to continue to exist as a foil to the Republic. Balbo promised that it was not only ANI's able to restore Italy to glory and destroy all their enemies. We're just gonna kill them. In here, okay, this is my Navy slash... Yeah, Navy slash Air Force, and the most important thing for us is the synthetic oil experiments, because we need to produce our own oil and rubber. We need to. We're not gonna be... We are not gonna have a network, a colonial network to get rubber from over here. We're not gonna be able to ship it in consistently. We need to produce our own synthetic rubber and oil. Now, oil is not so bad. We can get that from Romania, locally. Originally supports Bomboni. A Republic Revolution over in Iran. Okay, well that doesn't really affect me, so I don't care. Carina Massone Negrone sets a new record. An aviator, Carina Massone Negrone, has set a new record for the aviation, flying up to some number in her biplane. Good for her. She's a close personal friend of Italo Balbo. In here, what I'm thinking, I could either grab something here, or I could go for the Legislate Freedoms, which has consumer goods down, does not, well, consumer goods up, which would decrease our ability to produce. Does not matter. We have 0 factories. We have basically... We lose nothing there. Factory output down. Oh no, our severely crippled economy gets even worse. But we get weekly stability up. And we're also allowing them to have free and open elections. So that's very thematic. And that's what I like. What else is going on in the world today? Takes everything you got. What's going on over here? The left Kuomintang is doing pretty well against the Nanjing clique. Nanjing has defeated their other rivals in the area. But you... Oh, look at that. They got support from Germany, East Asia, and the Qing. Well, you're being supported by the whole... Really? Italy's over there, huh? Should I go fight my Italian brothers in arms? No, I think I'll pass. Even a socialist China very rarely gets involved inside of these kind of things. They are much better off when it comes to like support equipment than me. So it makes some sense that they would. You start working out. You start working out. I want good troops. I want those research institutes so I can have both a... You have already done your thing, so we have an extra reserve fleet. The Adelchi. Just go ahead and join the first squadron. Very little here. What else? Production, recruitment. Not going to recruit anything. Not going to do anything there. Civilian factories, all of which I used. What are we doing? Oh yeah, free dockyard. That was it. Construct, let's say, like 20 convoys, because we have 20, double the amount of convoys. Gabriella Angelini. She had her solo trip from Delhi, already famous for visiting. Good for her. This is... The other one was named Negroni. This is a completely different person. We have a lot of women aviators in our country, apparently. Good for them. Now, for infantry... For infantry, what am I thinking for infantry? I could really use radios. That just increases it. But I could really use better industry. We're a very concentrated industrial power. Almost all of our industry is right here in Lombardy. It's very concentrated for us. So we'll go concentrated route. You might think, why am I doing stuff based on thematics of the country? That's how I play. I'm not a min-maxer, I'm a role player. It just is. It's how I like to play. Anytime I stop doing things that I like, I get depressed and I stop playing the game for like 6 months. Legnano. Today, the historic epic film Legnano is released across the Republic of the widespread acclaim. The film tells the story of the Holy Roman Emperor Barbarossa and his attempt to control Italy, leading to the creation of the Lombard League and the Battle of Legnano. It was directed by Romolo Marcellini and stars a bunch of Italian names. Funded by the ANI due to obvious parallels to the Austrian Empire, has drawn criticism from the Austrians. Oh, does somebody need a wambulance? Despite the Italian public seems to enjoy the film. Good for them. Absolute Kino. Continue on. I think the next thing I'm going to do once I have enough political power, the Union of the Syndicalist Union over here. Under Alceste de Ambrise. Absolutely no clue who that is. Just right over my head. No idea. Looking at the other factions, we have the good old Socialist Republic of Italy. We have the Pope himself by the Pope. We have 2 Sicilies under King Ferdinando III of the House Bourbon. 2 Sicilies. We have Sardinia under House Savoy Aosta, which I believe is the same house that was forcibly kicked out of Sardinia Piedmont, the previous kings of Italy. And here we got the research institutes. Defense contract would give us military, pretty good. Could create the autostrada would give us infrastructure, better when building other things, not that important. New farms give monthly population, supply consumption, and an industry bonus. I'll take that one. It's just nice. And now I got the new research institute. Yeah. So if this is doing Air Force stuff, I can do some things for... Well, things that would be important for the Navy side of things. One would be better computing, because that would lead to basic fire control. This would also be good for bomb sites. Yeah, I guess we'll just do that for now. Give better research, then lead our way towards other things. Better things. In here, how you guys doing? Making 4 a day. It's not horrible. I have 100 points. I want to spend it on this. On Ettore Bastico. Because we either got Division Speed Man or Division Offense Man. I like Division Offense Man. You, with your things, it's not 1939 yet. We've already gotten most of it. We can get some excavation going on ya. But the mines in, I guess, Venetia. Yeah, we got a lot of aluminum and a lot of steel. That's what we're working with. We've got aluminum and steel. Check out in the world situation again. We got that war. Looks like it has been... Yunnan falls in the Civil War. Huh. Looks like the war over here is being forced around these provinces, probably because... Oh, okay. There's barely any supply. There's some in Nanchang, which is right on the border, but that's not a lot. The supply situation over there is probably horrible. Hey boy. In here, most of you are doing pretty well for yourselves. You're fully kitted, but you just don't have enough guns. Yeah, that's going to be a problem. We can't get enough tungsten in. We can probably... We can start shipping that in from Portugal, but that'll be a while. Or, well... I'm never going to be able to use that trade bonus with Austria, because we are going to elect an anti-Austrian party. East Asia's in their war now. Modernize that. Create the Istituto Dissidents, blah 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 blah, good for them. Indochina declares independence. That'll probably hurt the Nanjing clique, but I just don't care. Just don't care what happens over in the Nanjing clique. In here, this is my infantry stuff. We have a bonus. I could spend it on... It is 1936. I think I'll start working my way through some light tanks, because our current light tank is very bad. It's not worth using in any real way. I'm building it up mostly because they're still a hunk of metal. You can use them for... In the same way that you can use armored cars, you can use them for the purpose of security forces. That's a use for them. In here we got the Air Force ticket. Oh, I could use it. I could use it on refining for oil, because that's the most expensive one, is this one. But I feel like using it here is still pretty good. That's for my Air Force, just, you know, build up. Just build up. Our Air Force is pretty good, and I can't really build anything with my Air Force at the moment anyway. So using it for extra industry is just a good idea. Legislate freedoms is almost done. We're above 50% stability, which is considered stable. Yay! Missing equipment? Yeah, you're gonna find that we do. Do I have any construction yet? No, no I don't. Oh my, no. We are getting plenty of army experience at the moment. Oh wait, Sternberg? Sternberg won in Mongolia? That's a nice looking Mongolia. Currently a puppet underneath the Russian Republic. What are you up to? You sussy man. Okay, now in here we got the autostrada for building up... Wait, got the autostrada. I kind of want those civilian factories more than I want to build more military, because my military is so weak, even starting out with efficiency isn't that worth it. I could also come over here and do, like... What is this? Add an attack skill, add a planning skill, add a logistics skill. At the moment, I kind of want to do autostrada into... Get my civilian economy going again. That's my play. Ooh, the Belgrade Pact. We got Serbia. No Greece. Oh, they're in. The 1936 Cancliago earthquake. Well, too bad for them. We do have the Belgrade Pact. I will be supporting the Belgrade Pact because they have a common enemy. Not in Bulgaria, but in the Austrian Empire. So I'll support, I think, Romania. And maybe Greece. Romania is more my style, though. Especially because they have a whole lot of national populists. I find Greece to be more wishy-washy in continuing the fight against the Austrians. Now in here, we got so much army experience, I can start using them. I think I want the Alpine divisions to be better. So what I could do, let me check how much we got. We got 56 towed anti-air. That's pretty good. Now this would require 30 per division, that would require 90 in total. That's a lot, too much in fact. I could put them into here, that would decrease it by 60. I could put a engineered division and support artillery. This hurts their organization quite a lot. A lot to begin with. Engineer company increases defense greatly, which is good because it's an infantry division. It increases HP slightly, breakthrough slightly. Increasing breakthrough is kind of important. Let's cut out the anti-air to begin with and start with just the support artillery and the engineer company. They'll still have 55, which is a pretty good number because a typical infantry division has 60, and if you start putting things in, it'll be dropping lower and lower. That should be perfectly fine. You don't have enough support equipment or artillery. Kingdom of Spain, general election. Obviously, we want the Association of Nationalist Italians. That'll give us populism, ANI, Emilio de Bono will be appointed as the Prime Minister, and Land for Construction speed will come up. Neat. And at the same time, we have the war over here. The issue with the war over there is that I don't have really a kingdom that I want to support, necessarily. Because if you get out of the war, you are almost certainly going to join the Entente. I don't like the Entente because Sardinia is in the Entente. If you get out of the war, you have at least some ability to do nothing. Or go for the Bourbon throne and go after France by itself. But you could also join the Entente, we've gone over that, or join the Reichspact. The Reichspact is very likely to be where Austria ends up. So more so, at least, in the car list, I could support them. And I probably will. Just give it a bit, because going down this tree, Venice is absolutely going to go and try to kill us. That's just what they do in this situation. ANI wins, bypassed, indeed, yes, yes, yes. Production, now we have Italo Balbo, Il Duce. Disruptive, bombastic, extreme, violent, but never boring. Few could predict that the Italian Republic, long torn between the aristocratic federation backed by the Austrians and the democracy backed by idealists, would be toppled by a man who despised both. Atop the ashes, Italo Balbo has declared himself Il Duce before his legionaries, and would not be stopped, not by decency, by the threat of revolts, invasion by Austrians, or the Red Menace to the west. Balbo grew up near Ferrara, and quickly fell under the spell of Romanticism. He admired the heroes of the Risorgimento, particularly Giuseppe Mazzini, and at age 14 attempted to run away to join the Ricotti Garibaldi's attempt to flee Albania from the Ottoman yoke to free Albania. When the Weltkrieg broke out, he paused his studies and joined the Alpini. He has quickly noted that his courage and fanaticism against the Austrians, gaining multiple awards in the rank of captain. During the war, he was at first introduced to aircraft. He volunteered for flight training. At the tide began to turn against the Entente. Despite the Italians' best efforts, however, they were defeated and the armistice was signed in 1919. Despite having grown up exposed to the Republican and socialist viewpoints, Balbo developed a hatred for the socialist revolution. After resigning his commission and protest the surrender of the Austrians, he organized his own militia to crack down on socialist activities that brought him to the attention of the like-minded Gabriele D'Annunzio, who helped co-found the Italian Nationalist Association. The ANI became infamous in the newly founded Italian Federation for the violent acts of terrorism against the pro-Austrian and pro-socialist figures. Many landowners turned a blind eye to their activities, and Balbo became infamous as one of D'Annunzio's enforcers, easily assuming leadership after the former's death. Now that have swept away their political opponents, Balbo's vision of irredentist totalitarianism and nationalist Italy can be implemented, but whether this is a folly or truly the next Mazzini, it's Italian. One thing is for certain, there's a long way to go. But the Avatar will save the world. And let's see, we are currently 40 minutes into the video. Good old Italo Balbo has shown up, so I think this is a great place to cut the episode, and we'll get back to it in the next. If anybody's watched this, thanks for getting this far. See you guys then. Bye-bye.